Carbon trading takes off in Europe. Starting this week, Europe's 7-year-old emissions trading system, or ETS, now includes air transport. Up until now, it's been exempt. European airlines aren't happy about this, and to the great annoyance of airlines based outside Europe, any flight to and from the continent will also be subject to the emissions system. And this is key, the entire flight is subject to the new EU rules, not just for the length of the flight in European skies. British Airways parent IAG, for one, estimates this will cost its airlines more than $100 million in 2012.
But surely we discover there are too many allowances.
Under a carbon trading system, companies have to hold carbon credits to emit greenhouse gases. The European Union was first in setting up a large pan-regional and legally binding trading system, similar to a stock exchange, where companies buy and sell carbon credits based on the amount of carbon they emit. The ultimate goal is to push industries toward greener technology.
The level of ambition that the EU has in terms of emissions reduction is very, very big. By 2050, they want to have reduced emissions by 85%. So if you want to do that kind of very, very ambitious reduction, you've got to include everything, really, and the aviation sector is a relatively important part.
Supporters say it's high time that airlines, which account for around 3% of global carbon emissions, pay to pollute. Europe says it's waited long enough for a global agreement on airline carbon taxes. None has been forthcoming.
We've learned with this program and with lots of environmental programs that the complaints from industry are always large right when the program is about to go into effect. They always claim that it's going to cost them exorbitant amounts of money, but then when the program actually comes into effect, that they find that it both saves them money and spurs the kinds of technology innovation that is necessary for competing in the 21st century.
Critics of this expansion to the skies, including the U.S. State Department, say this amounts to an unfair tax on companies based outside the EU. European airlines now fear retaliation from countries outside the EU to which they fly. There have been several court cases instigated to try and stop the inclusion of airlines. And the extra cost to buy carbon credits will likely be passed on to the price of a ticket, possibly as much as $16 each way, which adds up if you consider all the other additional fees passed on to the passengers. Jim Bolden, CNN, London.